It just got a whole lot easier to patent and trademark your intellectual property all around the world. Want to find out how? Well, stay tuned. I'm Kalilah Reynolds, and it's time for another episode of Money Moves JA, brought to you in partnership with EXIM Bank's Business Advisory Service, giving you the tools to grow your business. My guest today is attorney at law and partner at DunnCox, Joanne Wood Rattray. She's going to tell us how to do it. Hi, Joanne. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Kalilah.
Love your glasses.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Yes.
So, we're talking intellectual property. We've discussed this topic a few times on this program, but there are some key updates that we all need to be aware of. What are the recent changes to the laws?
Okay. The recent changes to the laws are really major, and there are, in effect, two different laws. If you understand what intellectual property is, you have patents, you have designs, you have copyright, you have trademarks. Those are the main categories of intellectual property that are protectable under the law. The changes that we're talking about are to the patents and designs and to trademarks. Mm-hmm. So in relation to patents and designs, we have an entirely new act, new legislation. The old act, which is dated 1857, was repealed.
Centuries old.
Yeah, centuries old. And we've been waiting, I would say, well over 20 years for this new act. So it's something that we're very excited about. And it actually brought together two pieces of legislation. So patents and designs are now under one umbrella act. The thing that I think persons...
So the new legislation just came into effect February 2022, right?
The new legislation came into effect on February 11th.
Right, so it's brand new.
Brand new.
And tell us, what are the major shifts from this 1857 law to now?
The major shift, one, is that it is much simpler to register a patent and also a design. But what I think that your viewers really want to hear about is that you can now register an international registration by one application.
Oh.
So before you registered a patent in Jamaica, it was only valid in Jamaica. It could only be enforced and protected in Jamaica. Now, with an application in Jamaica, you have the facility to apply under what is the Patent Cooperation Treaty, which we are a party to, in about 155 countries around the world that are also parties to this treaty. It allows an inventor to basically file an international application in the countries that they are interested in. It's not simple. I'm not going to say that it is, but it makes the opportunity of owning your intellectual property, not only in Jamaica, but in other countries that you might want to exploit it and to enforce it much. I mean, this is what is leveling the playing field for us here.
That's amazing, because previously, what would you do? You'd have to file in each specific country individually?
That's correct. You'd have to file in Jamaica, and then quite separately, you'd have to go and get perhaps an attorney in the United States, look at the laws of registering your property in that country. Then quite separately, you'd go to Japan. Quite separately, you'd go anywhere, Barbados, Trinidad. No, as long as it is a country that is within that treaty, then you can have the opportunity to extend your patent.
One application.
One application.
So one set of paperwork.
One set of paperwork.
One
yes.
fee
Well,
as well?
You file in Jamaica, and then you have 12 months to then extend it internationally to the World Intellectual Property Organization.
I'm guessing the fee is also different, though?
Yes, the fees, there will be cost, but the cost that you would now be looking at would be much less than what you would have to consider if you were trying to register and protect in each country separately.
Right, because you'd have to look into attorneys in each of those countries to find out this information.
That's
for
correct.
You.
That is correct.
And it's no longer necessary.
And it's the same thing now with the designs. A design essentially is any composition of lines, colors, three-dimensional shapes that you apply to an object, to like handicrafts or a shape of a bottle. That is also now possible to be registered internationally under a different treaty, the Hague Convention, but it is a similar. In fact, with the designs, you don't even have to apply in Jamaica. You can go straight to an international registration if that is what you want.
The Trademarks Act was also recently updated in
It was amended.
December.
It was amended. Jamaica, what you have with trademarks is the Madrid Protocol, which allows for the international registration of trademarks. Right now in 126 countries. We acceded to the protocol in December last year. We were the 110th country to come under the protocol. And what that allows you, similarly, with a national application in Jamaica for a trademark or a registration, actually, you can now apply for an international registration by designating any one of those countries, those 126 countries, to try to extend your registration. And again, it was a nightmare, I'm telling you, before, for if someone wanted to register their trademarks in a number of countries, to have to go to each jurisdiction separately and deal with each as a unit. And now you will be able to apply under a single application, designate those countries. Of course, it's not automatic. Each country, similarly, when persons apply and designate Jamaica, our local intellectual property office would have the right to examine it and see whether it passes the requirements to be registered here. So you still have all of those hurdles to get over, but now it is by one process and not by 2, 3, 20, depending on the number of countries that
Is this
you are.
something that people can typically do by themselves, or do they normally engage an attorney's services to do it? 'Cause
I
it's
wouldn't advise
complicated.
persons to try and do it by themselves, and it's not that I'm saying looking for work for attorneys,
Right.
but it is a very technical field. You actually save yourself a lot of cost and also perhaps fatal errors by getting professional advice and support. So I would advise persons to consult an attorney to determine, because the first step is to determine what are we talking about. Do I have something that rises to the bar of a patent? I should also mention under the new Patent Act, there is a new intellectual property utility models for innovations. So it is for products and processes that don't rise to the level of the inventive step required for a patent, but it is innovative, and so the requirements are less stringent. That is, I think, a new vehicle that a lot of our innovators and our creators would be interested in knowing about and looking into.
Okay, so we need to do some more research on that. Utility models, a new category now.
Right. So that is to also to respond to your question, that getting advice from the get-go is helpful. It is something that can actually set you in the right direction that you want to go.
Well, thank you so much, Joanne. This has been very useful. And
I
people
hope
can
so.
contact you how?
Well, you can contact me. I'm at DunnCox, the law firm, and we have some very good attorneys in Jamaica, intellectual property experts. If you go to JIPO, actually, JIPO will help to direct you to an attorney who is experienced in the field. So that's also a good place to start, to go to JIPO to say, who can help me with this? But I'm available, I'm at DunnCox, and it's something that I do every day. I get a lot of calls sometimes just from persons saying, can you give me, where am I? What is this on the right track? And it's something that I'm happy to do.
Well, thank you again. Very happy to have you.
Yeah, it was nice to be here, Kalilah. Thank you.
And here's a recap of the key points. The new patents and designs legislation allows you to register internationally using just one application. 155 countries have signed on to the Patent Cooperation Treaty, PCT, which allows you to extend your patent to those countries. The cost to register your patent internationally is much less under the Patent Cooperation Treaty, as you would not need to register in each country individually. That's it for this episode of Money Moves JA, brought to you in partnership with EXIM Bank's Business Advisory Service, giving you the tools to grow your business. Visit their website at eximbankja.com and check out my website, KalilahReynolds.com, where you can read a summary of this episode.